Of the most common questions that we get asked in regards to our courses is what is the difference between yin and restorative? Now, if you've taken either of these classes before, or perhaps even both of these classes, you might have noticed similarities between the classes or that they were completely different from one another, perhaps even different from class to class within the same name. And this is partly due to the fact that yoga has evolved very rapidly, and the practice of asana has evolved quite tremendously within the past few decades. And we've seen different cultures, different countries take on different adaptations of what you might be used to in your own country. And so these names of the classes are really just that. They're just names or styles of the practice. The best way to understand what it is that that class entails is to actually ask the teacher or ask the studio what their definition of that class is. Now, having said that, we do have some more traditional classes or styles of classes that have come from a couple of decades of practice from particular teachers. And particularly when it comes to yin and restorative, they have their own specific lineages. So with yin yoga, the most common lineage comes from Paul Grilly and Sarah Powers. And the idea behind this practice is to actually work into our yin tissues, our ligaments, our tendons, our joints, and even our bones within the body. And also, a really big element to the yin practice, because of the lineage of these two teachers, is working with the meridians of traditional Chinese medicine. So basically, within yin, we are looking to elicit change within the body, either by stimulating change and more energy flow called qi throughout the meridians that run throughout the body, or by allowing the change to happen within the actual tissues themselves. So with yin, we're looking to actually change the tissues. And compared to restorative, which the teacher who popularized it is Judith Lessiter. So she created a book and teachings around restorative yoga, which is really about supporting the body with as much props as possible, getting as comfortable as possible so that you can feel nothing. And what this does is it allows the parasympathetic nervous system to kick in and allows us to find more homeostasis, so that equilibrium both within the body and within the mind. Now, again, you might be used to practicing something vastly different from either of these two, and that's okay. It's not right or wrong to have them taught in a different way or to use these names on different styles, but this is just where the names have traditionally evolved from. And again, traditional is still within the last few decades, so it doesn't actually go even as far back as our origin of the practice of yoga comes from. They're still relatively new, they're still relatively modern, but are both great practices for everyone to enjoy in our everyday lives.